Good morning, welcome back. Okay, we're out shrimping again today. So this is the first drag. I've got the case open on the waterproof case, so I'll have to close up again in a minute, prevent damage. There's a few in the bag there by the looks of it. I say it's quite a hefty tide today, so I'm not expecting much. Clarity of the water's not great either, so it's too clean really, but let's see how we get on. Let's just go and get a bucket and let's go for it. Close case up now. Let's go and get a bucket. Sunny morning. I don't know if you can see there, the fog's rolled in, so it's quite foggy now. It came over us like a bag. Visibility is probably to about 100 meters. So whenever it's like this, it's always good to know where you are and know the beach as well, because if you can't see the land, which I can't, you're going to either end up walking straight out to sea or the opposite way, either way of where you want to be. So I obviously know where I am due to where I am on the beach. And obviously I've got my trolley tracks as well to follow back off if the fog does come in really thick. I always find it best practice to follow my tracks off rather than making your own tracks up, because that's when you start getting into bother then, going into the soft sand and sticky mud. If you've got a beach like this, it's full of sticky mud, full of soft sand. So it's best practice to know it. So I don't know if you can see there, going right up through. They're my tracks that go right the way to land. So when I come off later on, I'll just follow those up. So let's get the bucket. That should do us for the minute. Now we have got a hefty tide today, so I'm not going to bother moving the trolley. We'll just empty this out. It's cool enough, so the fish should be fine. And then when the tide comes in a bit, we'll riddle them off. Just with it being a big tide, the fish is always slacker on a bigger tide, so I want to do the best I can and get what I can. So as we've seen in other videos, as the tide's turning, obviously I'm riddling out. So obviously the sand's still wet because I'm quite close to the shoreline. So the shrimps and the fish just bury themselves in, and then the fish obviously swim out as the tide comes in. The fish are obviously covered with water, so that's the way I tend to like to do it. So thick as a bag out here now. Thick as a bag. We've got the 10-foot net out with us today. And there's the bag. Let's see how we've got on. A few razor clams, a few shrimps, a few crabs, a few small fish. Let's say we'll riddle those out anyway. So let's just get this bag emptied, and then we'll get straight back out on it then on the fishing. Bag tied up. the way I tie my bag end, so I just basically do like the granny knot onto the loop, like that, and then the loose end is the one that you pull. So I've got hold of the tight end, I pull that one down. So the loose end, pull, tight one through, and then pull. Okay, you don't need to do that very much, that's more than enough, and you just finish it off back through with the loop, and that won't go anywhere, that's alright. So what we got here, so we've got a little dab, little baby dab, which we'll throw back now. Nice pristine condition. We'll get that back. And away he goes. This is why I don't tow the nets for very long, just because I like to keep the fish and my shrimps as well in best condition as possible. For those who are thinking what these are whelk eggs. So what they do is you stick them on rocks, on weed, and obviously the whelks just go out. There's no eggs in there, it's just like a sponge now, so it just holds the water. That's no good. Razor clams, plenty of them on this beach, nuisance to find. Also you've got little baby Dover soles, which I'll riddle out. Got weaver fish, crabs, got sand gobies, which are these. That's a sand goby. So yeah, so if you see them, see bits of weed and stuff, a few nice big shrimps in there. So as always, the fishing will pick up as it goes through the tide. Fishing will pick up, so. Right, leave them there for a minute. Tell you what, riddle these out and just see exactly what's going on. See what's going on, because this will give us an indication. Because obviously I've been out quite deep there. So this time of the year needs to go out deeper anyway, so just need to work out what we've got. Good sized shrimps anyway. So as you can see with the riddle, the way the riddle works, the grids go this way. So obviously I'm going backwards and forwards, so all the flatfish and fish and crabs and stuff stay on top. If I go side to side, them fish are going to go like that, hit it and slide in, which is not what I want, because obviously I'm trying to minimise the amount of fish that go through. Obviously I can't stop all of them, but obviously I'm always going to get a bycatch, always. There's nothing I can do about it, because obviously it's just due to the size of the mesh and the fish that are on the ground. And that is an absolute beauty shrimp, the size of that. So yeah, sadly there's nothing I can do about the bycatch. I know I've had a few people say about the small fish and stuff, but there's nothing I can do about that. I just do my absolute best to preserve what I can, but the fish are alright now. They're fine. We might get a little bit of something today, so we'll just see how we get on. Let's go and tip this lot back, and then we'll get another drag in. So that's what's known as called as a bycatch. All fishing styles have a bycatch. Trawlers as well, they have a lot of bycatch, which are a lot of small fish, but again there's nothing you can do about it. The mesh sizes are that size on a trawler to allow for the small fish, but you can't stop everything from going in, because obviously you are towing your net. Scallopers as well, they just they just tie obviously they're just dragging the nets through the water. The dredges through the water. Obviously they're getting crabs and flatfish. There's nothing they can do about it. So we just have to make the best of a bad situation with it. Do what we can. Right. There you go. We can all go back. All the little baby souls swimming away. That's it. Gone. There we go. Lovely. Right, let's get this back to the old trolley, and then I'll come back to you on the next drag. So stay tuned.